know, last week we did Avenged Sevenfold live at LBC. And I heard the song A Little Piece of Heaven, and I wasn't enamored by it. Now, understand, you guys, when I do these things, these are real raw reactions that I get. And if it's something that I've never heard of before, especially when you're doing like a full length, because we did the entire concert, it's up over on Patreon, and we did the entire concert. So sometimes things get I don't know, it's hard for me to explain, but sometimes it's just not conducive to something that's out in left field a little bit when everything else isn't, you know, so it kind of changes your frame of mind about things. And I got a message from Tracy over on Patreon, and she asked me to check out this video, and it's the making of the album, and it's A Little Piece of Heaven. So I think that they're going to discuss this, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe this has the Rev in it, so right on to that. R.I.P. the Rev and Jimmy. And so we're going to check this out here, but I also want to tell Tracy and anybody else that's watching this, I did go back, since I received the message from her, I did go back and listen to it again. And I downloaded the song, and I have definitely softened my position on it. It's actually kind of remarkable in certain ways, because you know, when you're a musician, you get trained for certain things. There's when you're in the key of C, which is the primary key that most people work from in and out of. When you're in the key of C, you have certain chord progressions that you're supposed to do. And yes, you can change those, you can deviate from that by different tonics and things like that. But for the most part, that's what you're taught to do. And so when you hear something that doesn't quite follow those things, your brain immediately goes, that's wrong, you know? So I'm going to dig into this, though. I want to watch this video here. Let me stretch this out a little bit here. But I before we even get into the video, I did want to let you guys know that I went back and I watched it, or listened to the song, and I ended up downloading the studio version. And I definitely have changed my position on that. So let's get into this.
We were a little bit subdued during our writing process with the whole city life. The Rev found out for himself. He kind of went AWOL for a little bit to lock himself up and write. Not right! I did the same, you know, I just had to clear my head, and so I kind of disappeared for a while and just wrote on my own. And it kind of hit Matt a little bit after it hit us that he needed to get away from all the noise and create some noise of our own. So he came up with the idea of heading up to a cabin in Big Bear.
Everybody was up in Big Bear at M. Shadow's cabin.
Because we were just getting bugged too much by neighbors and family and fans and friends.
You know, we've come a long way and achieved some success. And coming to Huntington Beach and writing isn't necessarily the same as it was several years ago.
We had a little bit of a writing process up there to kind of get away from everybody in Orange County. We wanted to clear our heads and get up there in the mountains where there's just nothing around you, and we could just be inspired by each other.
Sinister and the Rev had this band called Pinkly Smooth.
It's just primarily goblin metal, heavily Danny Elfman influenced, as well as Oingo Boingo.
When Jimmy decided he was going to write on this record, he didn't know how to write Avenged Sevenfold style stuff. And we're like, you don't understand, like, we are Avenged Sevenfold, we can write whatever we want. So the first thing he came to us with was Afterlife.
Right on.
We're like, Afterlife's a great song. but it makes them even crazier. Try to write outside the box, like pinkly smooth stuff.
And one night, the Rev started playing this piano line that had been in his head and he had been working on at home.
He's like, okay, just give me a keyboard. And so I set the keyboard, the little motif rack, and he's like, just press record.
And so he started playing this thing with one finger and adding another finger.
So he plays like one note at a time. Plays the song for 8 minutes all the way through with one hand. And he's like, okay, now start me over again and give me left hand. So then he does left hand, just ding, ding, just like these little chords, right? So then he's like, okay, now record me on the drums. Press record on the drums, and he plays this crazy beat over this piano, right? And it's just going crazy, and we're just like, okay.
And then adding some bass notes, and all of a sudden we have piano and drums.
With a little bit of melody in the chorus, and that was it.
So we have 8 minutes of just like piano, one left hand, one right hand, nothing spectacular. We didn't know what we were getting there. Then he's like, okay, takes the mic, and he's like, now give me a track on the microphone. So we give him a track on the microphone, and he's just whispering these melodies.
And it just sounds like this 8-minute, 50-second collage of different ridiculous stuff.
When I first heard it, I fucking had no idea what to think. I thought, okay, well, this is cool. The Rev's crazy now. Why? Whatever, we got other good songs that are gonna be on the album. Matt just heard this piano and the melody that Jimmy was singing flipped out. It was like #1 on Matt's list to make sure this thing happens. I just didn't get it.
No one really wanted to work on it because it's this big ordeal to work on. Even at one point, Jimmy came to me, he's like, we shouldn't even record Big Bear, I don't even want to record it. When we went to record it for real, and I was like, dude, gotta record Big Bear, dude. If not for any other reason, but I want to listen to it.
Matt wasn't having it. He was adamant that we needed to let Jimmy just do what he was gonna do, and we all just needed to work together.
Yeah, turn up one of the tracks. Yeah.
It was really very different from anything we've done.
Jimmy, who's a mastermind, was thinking at 1,000 miles a second about these cool melodies and the storyline and writing lyrics for this thing.
You must have stabbed her 50 fucking times, dude. It's such a cool line, dude, when he sings it.
The Rev got these lyrics that were kind of twisted and funny at the same time.
It's basically a story about a man murdering his significant other and preserving her to do whatever he pleases with her. And the story takes a twist.
She comes back from the grave and kills him.
And they go on this murderous rampage.
They're both dead souls together, and they get married and terrorize everyone else.
As it started to come together, the song was just so amazing, and we definitely wanted to make it a special song for everyone, as it was special to us.
Totally inspired by all the crazy shit that we listen to, all of us, ranging from bands like Mr. Bungle and The Residents.
That's another one of those magical things that as it just progressed in the studio, such as the string arrangements, the orchestral arrangements brought to you by many members of Oingo Boingo.
Oh, wow.
Said, I'm gonna call Steve Bartek to work on this song and do horn arrangements.
And I said, yeah, let me involve Steve Bartek, the guitar player from Boingo, and get him to do some horns and stuff.
So we're like, Steve Bartek, fuck yeah. Like Mark Mann and Steve Bartek, the dudes from Oingo Boingo who do all Danny Elfman's stuff, are gonna work on this song with us.
I didn't want to stop this, but I just wanted to point out that I remember Oingo Boingo, the 80s band, and they played some odd stuff themselves, so I guess that makes a lot of sense.
Bringing in guest musicians is always a great thing.
So we went into Capitol Records building in Hollywood. We put some great brass on and strings on.
Working with them was awesome because they just bring a great deal to the table, like shit I couldn't come up with myself.
We have brass and woodwinds, and we've never had that on a record before.
Trumpets, trombones, saxophones, some clarinets.
We had a full brass choir, orchestra.
It's just an epic piece of just great musical material and proportions. You have the live players and they hear it and it's like oompa, 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 and it's like this great sounding brass and these big chorales. They were just grinning ear to ear and loving the sound of it.
Once that was on there, then I'm like, wow, this is something great, bigger than we've ever done.
Added some choir today here at El Dorado Studios.
Yesterday was the day that we really got to put all the fun stuff, the laughing and the yelling and
The whole band came together. We had Zach doing the wedding ceremony.
Of your eternal life, you take this band and death for the rest of your life.
you know, the deep vocals. I'm the minister.
And then we started laying down vocals, and the lyrics have this ridiculous, crazy content to them.
Okay, kids, let's roll it.
I sang the main vocal.
Before the story begins, is it such a sin for me to keep what's mine until the end of time?
Jimmy singing the narrator part. We had a girl named Juliet come in and sing.
That was a girl singing it.
And she was amazing. She just played the part perfectly. It reminded me of like a movie soundtrack.
I remember that.
You guys, it's like... That's great, let's do the giggle now.
The idea was we wanted a Halloween type of vibe.
It was.
You know, me and Jimmy have a good time together. He's just a crazy fucking guy. And
Come here, you fucking bitch! Let me hear it back.
Yeah, dude, we need to get some bottles breaking and shit.
we were throwing ideas like, oh, let's have the murders go in there and chants like, eat it, eat it.
Wait, one more time.
All these funny things that we just fucking came up with on the spot, and me and Jimmy were just going in there fucking going crazy.
That's all you last fucking time! Shut over here! I'm done
And it just kept evolving and kept evolving, and we were having so much fun with it. It just turned out to be beyond anybody's wildest expectations.
I think it was like a gift to us because I don't think anyone wanted to put in the work on it until things started really happening with it.
It's just unbelievable to see the vision that Jimmy and Matt had and see it come to life.
Definitely have a stronger sense of pride in your accomplishment after self-producing. I'm amazed that it's over.
Hang on, guys. Sorry. Wow. That's that was very much like the song itself, the explanation. And, you know, it's kind of remarkable. It reminds me a little bit of when we did a Frank Zappa song. You know, sometimes you have to dig a little bit below the surface when you're dealing with something that has that much going on in it, you know. And it's kind of ironic because he kind of, at the beginning there, they were saying kind of exactly what I was trying to explain to you, but they said it much better, of course. That it is out there and it didn't follow the rules, you know. But that's when genius stuff happens. when you don't follow the rules, when you're not part of the mainstream of life. And that's true whether you're recording music or writing a book or conducting a symphony. And when you break the rules, that's when you change the rule book, right? So I am really glad you sent that, Tracy. That helped me a lot. But I had already revisited that before I even received your message about that. And I don't recall hating it in the first place. It was kind of out there, and again, the concert was so badass. And we had such a good time that it kind of went out in left field there. And I'm like, what is going on here? So, but nevertheless, I stand corrected, and I appreciate you sending me that video. And by the way, to answer your question, at some point, yes, we will get to the full length of Nightmare. But I got some other stuff I got to deal with first, but we will get to it at some point. All right. Metal Biker Dude, peace.